advanced to the tournament 11 of the last 15 years. Danny Young has been head coach that whole time. Not the last 2 seasons, though. Jeremiah Curtis, 10 points a game last year. 5 rebounds. 9.9, 5.2 boards. 1 of 5 returning. Zach Jackson. Micah Fuller missed last year with injury, but played 2 years. Five junior college transfers this year. I don't know why I couldn't find this the other day. I looked. I don't know why I couldn't find this the other day. I went to archives and looked. Yeah.
I thought I looked last night again, but I didn't see any of that.
2-3, 1-2-3.
I hear you loud and clear.
You do. I wonder if he's going to just hang out here. I don't think he's calling the second game.
No.
Probably.
I would think not.
Yeah.
That would not be a good move by a radio station to do a game like that.
Yeah. Tomorrow's opponent, we got him here. We're previewing the game. Ray Allen's mom, huh?
Yeah, I heard that at the USF game, but I just like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And then the grandson is 5'9".
Really?
Yeah, he's redshirting.
I'll be done. So who is her grandson?
Jameel Hornsby.
That's on.
Down. Look on the other. Flip it over.
Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, the red. Yeah, I've got here.
Redshirting.
Here we go. There we go. Yeah.
I think we're good.
Hey.
Just met Ray Allen's mom. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh hi. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, stranger.
Yeah.
And you have no idea who
No,
he is.
I remember him from I think baseball.
Oh, really?
And they've been down here before.
Oh, okay.
Now that once I
place it, yeah.
the refs haven't been nice to us. Normally they come by and shake hands.
Fist bump
Nobody
or
did it
something.
yesterday.
Nah.
No eye contact today.
None.
These might not be SSE officials.
No, actually,
They look familiar.
Yeah, I do recognize them,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't know their names.
No, but normally they make eye contact.
Yeah.
Try to be nice.
The white guy has not been very receptive to us in the past.
Really?
I remember some games at Eckerd. He was bad, and I think my broadcasting partner called him out on being awful.
Oh.
and maybe the word got back to him. I don't know. So it might be me he's avoiding. I don't know. Okay, 5 points.
Yeah, the reason I met Ray Allen's mom is she taps me on the shoulder. She goes, "Are you one of the coaches?"
Oh, wow.
Says, "You look like a coach."
You do.
I said, "No, but I'm allowed to have an opinion, and nobody cares."
Yeah. Oh, she goes, "Oh, you're one of the media."
No, she did.
Yeah.
I get really tired of that, and I hope it changes someday.
Me too.
DeCarlo, how are you?
Hey, DeCarlo, good to see you.
To be honest with you, I would prefer that DeCarlo be number one on our list.
Yeah. I thought about that afterwards.
I mean, we told Dom he's high on the list.
Yeah. I'm going to just leave it up to Tom. I really don't care. And if DeCarlo is, I mean, does he work during the day too?
I don't know if he.
So those two games.
We could tell him and make himself available and give him the opportunity to turn it down. Do you want to go with about 5 or 4?
Sure.
Okay.
Whenever you want. Whenever you feel comfortable.
About a minute and a half or so.
Yeah, I don't know much about there, but we can talk about our guys at least.
Well, I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay. Okay, good.
Quickly.
We're good then.
4 junior college transfers who each had significant scoring totals.
Oh God.
They can throw that in.
Could be an offensive game.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it'll translate to everybody, but
right.
It's almost nicer putting everybody in one section, though, or one
side.
It is.
feels like.
Just looks so
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah. I've only got 3 guys here. I'm trying to get, but we can start. I can do this while we're.
Okay.
Whenever you want to go.
And welcome everybody courtside for the University of Tampa men's basketball season opener as the Spartans get ready to take on the Montevallo Falcons from Montevallo, Alabama. Welcome everybody. Jack Ike along with Scott Wynn as Scott, we start the 2018-2019 college basketball season for the Spartans this afternoon.
Well, and obviously they're looking to bounce back after going 10-16 a year ago, and bottom line is they had 2 all-conference type players that are not with the team anymore as they've moved on after graduating. Marcel Robinson, Duke Shelton, the defensive player of the year in the Sunshine State Conference. They will be missed without question, but it's going to give some other guys an opportunity to step up, and as we talked about with the women's game yesterday, there are going to be players who have been around that are suddenly going to have new roles, and we'll see how they fill those roles now.
By the way, Duke and Marcel playing professionally in Europe, and last I heard doing fairly well, though that season is young as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But the bottom line is this is a team, the Tampa Spartans, that has been racked by injuries in the preseason. Talking with Justin Pecca, assistant coach yesterday, associate head coach more specifically, told me that there was a time early on when they started practice that 7 players, all of whom might be starters at some point in the season, were all injured, and basically was more or less 5 walk-ons that were the only healthy players on the squad. They're starting to get back healthier, but there are still some players that will not be available this weekend. One of them is probably their new starting point guard, Devon. Is Collier, right?
Collier, they listed him as starting today.
Yeah, well, I think he's out, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I was told he would not play.
Things can change.
Yes, they could. But again, everybody's been hurt at some point along the way. Pat Bacon broke his right hand the first day of the workouts in September. He's back. Freddie Ibrahim has been hurt. You've had a number of guys that have been out. Brett Duncan, as a matter of fact, was only cleared for his first full practice on Thursday.
He missed all of last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, you've got it's been an injury-riddled season, and this is game 1. That's not a good sign.
Injuries are supposed to happen as the season
progresses. Right. Well, maybe they're all out of the way now, Jack, hopefully.
Montevallo coming in, as we said, from Montevallo, Alabama, a team that also has some new looks to them. They're perennial NCAA tournament people. 11 of the 15 seasons Danny Young has been head coach. He's taken them to the NCAA tournament, though not in the last 2 seasons. 8 times he's taken them to the NCAA D2 Sweet 16. So he's got a pretty good coaching success record at this point. Some changes on his team this year. He has a transfer in from McNeese State and 5 junior college transfers on the team this year. So, and plus, not only that, bringing in a couple freshmen. So, kind of a new look, and they will probably be just trying to see if all the parts fit together as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is a team that has had a lot of success through the years under Danny Young. I had to look, by the way, to make sure that it wasn't Danny Young who was the former Portland Trailblazer. It's not. It could have happened, but it is not. It's a different Danny Young for any former.
If Jim Calhoun can coach a D3 team, did you hear that?
Right.
Coached the game last night.
Exactly. You never know. No, and again, Danny Young has been around there for a while. He is the winningest coach in Montevallo's men's basketball history. Again, 5-time conference coach of the year in the Gulf South Conference and the Peach Belt Conference. He's done a lot of great things for this program through the years. He is a guy. You're talking about coaching experience. Both he and Richard Schmidt have been at their respective schools for basically a century. I mean, not quite, but it feels like that, I'm sure.
Danny Young's a newbie compared to Richard Schmidt in terms of coaching at a school. Richard Schmidt starting his 38th season in front of the Tampa Spartan bench. And as the Spartans get ready for this game, a couple new players you will see, but there is also a core of returning players for the Spartans. And we will get a look at a couple of them. One player who will not be playing today, who I think has a bright future for the Spartans, is Marco Downer, who will have to sit out 3 games to start the season with an NCAA situation, is basically the best way we can say it, right?
Right, exactly. And by the way, I think I said Devon Collier. It's Devon Colley. Colley. I misspoke, and I apologize. Devon, that'll be the last time I mess up your name, I promise. I've got to learn the new guys, too.
Well, we have to get used to Vincent Biffle this year.
Not Mackay.
Formerly Mackay Biffle.
Mackay's his middle name, Vincent's his first name, and he says now, I want to go by my first name. So we'll try to remember that as well.
We'll identify you in one of those ways, and hopefully Vincent more often than not.
yeah, exactly.
All right, we're going to get the national anthem, and then we will get this game underway. Tampa against Montevallo, first game for both teams to start the 2018-2019 season.
Mic check, please.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly reared, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose brush stripes bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and rockets the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, sailors that star-spangled banner wave, o'er the
All right, let's get ready to play some basketball. The first game of the 2018-2019 season. The game before this one featured Alabama-Huntsville beating St. Leo. St. Leo, a member of the Sunshine State Conference. Tomorrow at 3, the Spartans will play Alabama-Huntsville. And Alabama-Huntsville looked very good. Down a little bit in the first half, they came back and rallied to win that game.
Yeah, 69-57 was the final. St. Leo looked awfully good, I thought, in the first half. But then, as you say, Huntsville came back, hit a lot of outside shots, and they look to be a very formidable team. And again, we'll talk about them tomorrow.
Okay. Starting lineups for today's game for the Montevallo Falcons. They will be starting number 1, Cam Copeland, a junior, a 6-foot junior guard out of Toledo, Ohio, a transfer from Cleveland State Community College. Number 2 is Jack Humans, a 6'2 freshman, not far from here, Naples, Florida. Number 5 is going to be Wade Roman, a 6'6 junior from Philadelphia, a transfer from Cuyahoga Community College. Number 24 is Carl Johnson, a 6'4 junior from Phoenix City, Alabama, Enterprise State Community College. And number 33 is DeMarco Owens, a 6'9 senior from St. Louis, Missouri, and he is the aforementioned McNeese State University transfer. So a lot of transfers on this roster. Head coach is Danny Young in his 15th season. Assistant coaches are Duncan Hudson and Deshaun Jones, I should say. Starting lineup for the University of Tampa. They will start number 1, Alberto Moreno, a 6'3 junior from Ingenio, Gran Canaria. That is the island off of Spain in his junior year. Let's see, where do we go through next? Number 13, we got to get that name right. That is Vincent Biffle, 6'2", 175-pound junior from Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 15, starting his first game for the Spartans after transferring in, is Devon Colley, a 6'1", 185-pound junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. Went to Central Wyoming College. Number 23 is Cedric Bellarmine, and he is a transfer from the Congo. Went to Miami-Dade College, 6'7", 220-pound junior. Very athletic player for the Spartans. And number 25, senior Pat Bacon, 6 foot, 175-pounder from Indianapolis, Indiana. Went to legendary Lawrence North High School in Indianapolis. Spartans are coached by Richard Schmidt. The associate head coach is Justin Pecca. We're just about ready to tip this one off. By the way, stay with us for a while after this game, because at 7 o'clock we have the women's game taking the second game of the season. That will start at 7. There's a game after this one, and then about 2 hours later, the women's game will tip off at 7.
Yeah, 4 basketball games here today at the Bob Martinez Athletic Center.
Bellarmine jumping against DeMarco Owens, and off the tip, Montevallo controls. That's Copeland across the timeline, guarded by Bacon. Spartans man-to-man to start. Almost a steal by Bacon, almost poked away. Shot clock at 15. Carl Johnson goes inside. Little jump shot from the wing is Wade Lohman, missing it. And the Spartans come the other way. That is Vincent Biffle scooting down the court. Straight man-to-man for Montevallo as well. Outside, Moreno, the lefty, fires. A little too strong. Rebound taken away, and coming away with it is Humans.
Justin Pecca told me that Moreno's been playing great. Just lights out basketball in the preseason. They're expecting some big things from him this season.
Stolen, that's Moreno with the steal. Biffle up to Moreno, and it goes out of bounds. It will stay Tampa ball. And they reversed the call, and it's going the other way. They said it was deflected by Montevallo, but I think it almost looked like Moreno may have gotten his hand on it trying to save it.
Yeah, the outside official, the trailing official, had a better angle, and he overruled the official that was nearest the ball, who might have been screened out a little bit to see whether that ball was tipped away from behind.
Moreno with a little pressure in the backcourt. Copeland across the timeline. Swings it out onto the side, back top. Driving on Biffle. Off the glass, no good. Rebound up, no good. And into the hands of Moreno. Couple point-blank shots don't fall for the Falcons. Moreno with the drive, misses.
Lids on both baskets so far.
Copeland, nice little pass. Hang time and a basket by Lohman. And it's 2-0. Took a minute 40 to get the first bucket of the game. And a steal. And the dunk. Anthony Gamble in the lineup. We did not have him on the original lineup. Anthony Gamble is in for the Spartans, and as he should be, the senior can shoot lights out. You give him a little bit of room, and he will knock down a three. On cue, it's on the way. It's in.
Nice call, Jack. You can see that one coming.
Yes. His hang time is about, he just kind of elevates off his heels. Yeah. He doesn't jump high.
Remember, he did have the school record tying game. 10 3-pointers against Florida Tech back in December of 2016 when he scored a career-high 32 points.
I love that when players listen to our broadcast and know what to do.
That's right. Perfect.
Travel call, and with a 4-3 Montevallo lead, Freddie Ibrahim into the lineup, replacing Alberto Moreno. Freddie started most of last season, coming off an injury to start this year. Did not play last week when the Spartans had an exhibition game against the University of South Florida, D1 opponent, only about 5 miles from here.
USF won that game 80-52. The Spartans hung around in the first half.
First half was an 8-point deficit, but they tired. And a foul and a bucket. Biffle got it to go around. I think it might have done a 720 before going in.
I think so. Biffle coming off a season in which he averaged 9 points, 4.3 rebounds, had a career-high 26 points in a game against Barry back in December.
Started, I would say,
17.
half the games because Pat Bacon got hurt and he stepped into that role. Was going to get significant minutes regardless. And Moreno quickly in, Biffle out.
Just quick conversation on the bench with Moreno, I think.
And the Spartans showing some full court pressure. At least they pressured the inbound pass and now back it off. Bounce pass inside. Roman back out. Pass torn away. Bacon on the run. Heading down the lane. Puts it up and in. Spartans lead 8-4.
Jack Humans was right there on his right side. I was a little surprised he didn't try to block it, but I guess he didn't want to foul while he was in the act of completing the basket.
And a stoppage of action. Referee looked like he was showing a foul call or something. I think maybe just a timeout. Just to get a player into the lineup. Nothing was called. Johnson, top. To the corner, knocked away. Foul called. Alberto Moreno for the slap. Micah Fuller into the lineup now. He's a sophomore from Bessemer, Alabama, by way of Bessemer City High School.
Yeah, he didn't play last year, out with an injury as a freshman. He averaged 6 points a game for the Falcons.
Johnson. This is Fuller. Drives up. Off the glass and in. 8-6. 4 minutes into the game. Ibrahim. Nice pass. Inside. Bellarmine off the glass and in. He's athletic. When he played against USF last week, did not start, but he had just been cleared by the NCAA to play and had practiced once. I was told, watch his talent.
Yeah, that was nice, and it was all set up by Moreno with a great splitting of the defense and then driving and with the perfect over-the-head pass.
A little scrum going on.
Yeah. You can see Moreno's playing with so much more confidence this year. He's playing the point now today, again, with Devon Colley out with an injury this weekend. Won't play tomorrow afternoon either.
So you must have had it right. I don't know why they had Colley in the starting lineup preliminarily.
Yeah. Well, that might have been the intention, but Justin Pecka said there was no way he was going to play. It's an upper hip injury.
Okay.
So Devon won't play this weekend. He does have a lot of good reference, though, if you will. I mean, they're saying you remember Jordan Davis.
Yes.
You and I both do. He reminds the coaching staff a lot of Jordan Davis, and Jordan Davis was a
good company.
Yeah. So Devon Colley will be fun to watch, but we won't get to see him today or tomorrow. Well, not a bad start for the Spartans. A little 10-6 start. You'll take that.
Spartans right now 4 of 6 from the field.
You know, Pat Bacon has played the point guard position really much of the career here, but they're really hopeful that he can play the two, his more natural position this season. And you see right now with Moreno playing the point and playing it well and with confidence, it will allow Pat Bacon to play the two.
Well, Bacon has done well, but he's had to play the point. He's better at the two.
Yeah.
But circumstances got him playing the point for a couple seasons. Pass inside. Owens trying to back him down. Off the glass, lays it up too high. Shot clock violation. He put it up, got the shot off, but it did not hit the rim.
He put a pretty good fake on Bellarmine there.
Yeah.
And got a good look and just didn't even get rim.
Bellarmine and Owens, same size, not same weight.
Good point.
Gamble, some D right in his face by Roman. Moreno calls the play out. 12, now 10 on the shot clock. Foul called away from the ball, and I think it's a pick by the Spartans.
Tampa
Foul on Bellarmine.
Pardon me, Jack.
Yep.
Full court pressure here for the Spartans, but just sort of token pressure.
Brent Duncan now into the Spartan lineup, replacing Bellarmine. Duncan, missing all of last year, a 6'6 junior from Atlanta, showed a lot of potential as a freshman, and then missed all of last year with a back injury and some surgery.
Yeah, he had his second back surgery in May, was only cleared for a full practice on Thursday, so conditioning's probably going to be an issue for him.
Off the glass, no good. Again, they run that shot clock down. That time it hit the rim. They get the board, so they get another recycle of the shot clock. Off the pick. On the wing. Swing it over to Copeland. Looks. Pops at the free throw line. Off the glass, no good. Owens with the rebound, going to put up a jumper near the free throw line, too hard, into the hands, and out, and finally falling into Freddie Ibrahim's hands.
Doesn't seem that long ago we were calling Freddie Ibrahim a freshman who was going to see a lot of playing time here. Here he is a senior. It's hard to believe that much time has passed.
I remember coming to a practice his freshman year before the season started, and I said, kid can create stuff. He's not afraid to take it down the lane.
You see Moreno heading to the bench as Pat Bacon checks in, and also Brendan Baker is checking in now for the Spartans.
So one thing that is different from a week ago at USF is Richard Schmidt's going deep in his bench already. 9 players have hit the court for the Spartans. Down Baker, off the rim, no good. Tipped inbounds, and a foul called.
Tell you what, Jeremiah Curtis has some beef on him. He's 6'8", but he's a big fella.
He just into the lineup as well. But he and Owens, big kids.
Curtis averaged just under 10 points a game last season, 5 rebounds a game. Had a career-high 21 against West Alabama. Was a JC player a couple years ago. Played 2 years at Compton Community College. This is, of course, his second year with the Falcons.
Missed the first throw.
We've been on 10-6 for a while.
Hits the second, 10-7. Anthony Gamble back in for Tampa for Brendan Baker.
You mentioned Bellarmine had been injured. He was only cleared on October 29th, so he's only had a week of practice. This is a good time to get a game.
Yeah.
Let the players introduce themselves to one another.
Biffle pull-up jumper off the front of the rim. We come back the other way with Copeland. 13 minutes to go, first half. 10-7, Tampa on top. To the wing, Humans. Bounce pass inside. Curtis off the rim, no good. Ibrahim with a spin, cross midcourt. Biffle left-handed in.
Nice aggressive move to the basket by Biffle. It looked like he was just not going to be denied that time. By the way, Pat Bacon is, again, back on the floor, and we know what a great offensive player he is. I mean, he averaged 19 points a game as a freshman, had injury problems his second year. Last year, again, back to 19 points a game. I know one thing Richard Schmidt would like him to do is play better defense. And again, maybe guarding a 2 would make it a little bit easier for him than guarding a very quick point guard.
Three-pointer on the way there is good, and it's a 12-10 game. Outside, Bacon, 3, up, on the way, and in. 15-10.
Right now, Bacon is matched up against Copeland.
Copeland, their main ball handler. Long 3 on the way. Yeomans rattles it home.
I tell you what, Yeomans has got some range. That was pretty deep.
15-13. And a steal. Abraham had to take it away, and a slam dunk by Lohman ties this game.
Lohman gets high to throw that one down. Last year averaged 13 points, 7 rebounds a game at Cuyahoga Community College.
Gamble to Bacon. Off the rim, no good. Nice fight and a big bucket as the Spartans knock it home with Brent Duncan getting his first points in a year.
Duncan 6'6", muscular. Works some nice interior offensive rebound position that time.
Kick will give the ball to Montevallo. And we will have a stoppage of play with 10:51 to go in the first half. 17-15. Tampa on top of Montevallo. First game of the season. Gulf Coast Sunshine State Conference.
Robin.
And I'm Chris.
We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs. The last thing anyone needed was another sub shop.
They needed a better one.
We built Firehouse Subs on quality and quantity.
And I'm the quality.
Why my quantity?
Are you kidding?
Try our hook and ladder sub.
Smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese.
Yeah, all served steaming hot on a toasted sub roll. Our way beats their way. If you don't agree,
It's free.
on him.
It's on him.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
But not, that's where you see a lot of it, and the students are right behind us. Well, because those bleachers will not come out right now, and we hope that they come out at some point this season, but if not, we've got a nice crowd behind us. Maybe out of camera range, but I'll tell you what, with 4 schools here, 3 of them traveling to this little mini tournament, if you will, it's a nice crowd. It is, you know. We had this in the women's game last night. Yeah. The bleachers were pretty full behind us.
St. Leo, not far from here. They travel well. I mean, they are embraced in their community up there.
It's pretty much the only game in town, isn't it?
Yeah.
St. Leo. Yeah. In St. Leo.
Which is one of the tough things about the University of Tampa. It's a community school. It's a downtown school. It's a metropolitan school.
In a market with a lot of protein.
With a lot of choices.
Yeah. Spartans are doing well shooting-wise. They're 7 of 11 from the floor, but they have committed 5 turnovers.
Curtis back outside. Fuller, he's going to put it up. Airballed it into the hands of Curtis. And is the shot clock? No, they got a foul before.
I think Baker over the back.
Actually, DeMarco Owens got the rebound and then got fouled. Owens and Curtis, I tell you, a couple bookends there.
Yeah. Tight ends.
Tight ends, yes.
Wrong sport.
Yeah.
Biff will back, and obviously Freddie Ibrahim will sit down.
Pat Bacon almost getting the steal, but Copeland kicks it. Humans. 17-15, Spartans by 2. Drive, kicked away, and they're going to say it's Tampa's ball.
Go ahead and leave the
Alberto Marino will bring it up court for Tampa.
By the way, the officials today, John Washburn, Reginald McNeil, and George Render. They've been doing a good job working as a team today.
Yep. Bacon in the lane, pump fake, now fade away, finds Duncan, who can't hit. That was the old put up an 8-footer from 6.
Yeah, a little heavy on me. launch on that one.
Owens drives, misses it, Biffle boards.
Well, you can tell it's the first game of the season, really, on both teams. They're not executing on all cylinders just yet.
Nice pass inside to Biffle off the glass, too hard. That's one where you always put an asterisk for the assist.
Should be an assist, right?
Yep. Off the glass and in, we're tied 17 with 9:20 to go, first half. Jack Ike, Scott Lynn with the broadcast. And we will have it all season long, men's and women's home games for the Tampa Spartans.
Right here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
And TampaSpartans.tv. Welcome everybody tuning in from Alabama, watching their team play. Bacon off the front of the rim, no good. Copeland dashing to the other end. Humans for three and the lead, 20-17.
Well, you can tell he's their shooter. They looked for him in transition there, and he just spotted up and launched. He's already shown that he has range, and he's hit both of his three-point tries.
To the corner to Biffle. Bacon looking for a pick. Calls out a play with 10 on the shot clock. Looking to drive, loses control. 5 on the shot clock. Moreno, does he notice? Drives up. No good. That's going to be a shot clock violation. And plus, they got a foul.
They got the foul called first, and that bailed them out because they would have just maybe gotten the shot up in time, but since it didn't hit rim, it would have been a violation. Instead, free throws for Moreno.
Alberto looking for his first points of the game.
Moreno last year just 10 of 13 from the charity stripe, 77%. Not a lot of attempts. Again, new role for him this year. At least in the early going, he's the point guard, and he's going to have a featured role no matter what position he's playing. I think he's going to get to the line a whole lot more.
Hits them both, 20-19. Montevallo on top. Freddie Ibrahim in. Someone needs to come out. It is Pat Bacon.
You mentioned that USF game. Tampa playing South Florida back on the 30th of October. Anthony Gamble was the top scorer.
Biffle steals. Moreno off the glass and in. Spartans up 21-20.
Is that full court pressure? That's good stuff. Gamble with 12, Moreno with 10, and Bellarmine with 9 off the bench. Those were the leading scorers for the Spartans in that game.
Almost a steal, but Humans controls the ball to Curtis. Bounces in to Owens. Tries to turn, fouled. I think Moreno's going to get the call.
Yeah, Moreno, again, tried to make the steal, and when they reach in, if you don't get the ball pretty darn clean, they're going to get a whistle. And that was clearly a foul. We had a very good angle of that.
Under 8 timeout here. 7:56 to go until halftime. Tampa Spartans 21. Montevallo Falcons 20 right here on the Sunshine State Digital Network and TampaSpartans.tv.
We talked earlier about the two players who were all-conference performers a year ago. Marcel Robinson averaged 17 points a game for the Spartans. And then, of course, Duke Shelton, the Defensive Player of the Year.
He was a walking double-double.
Oh, yeah. Almost, it was 13.9 points. So almost 14 points and over 11 rebounds a game. I mean, that, and then the block shots, you had that in there. He had 33 block shots on the season, averaging 1.5 per game. No question why he won the SSC Defensive Player of the Year award. So again, new roles for players this year, and new players trying to fit into roles as well.
And it doesn't mean that it's a role they haven't played before. They may have had these roles in high school, and just they weren't ready for that role, or the role wasn't available to them when they got to college. So they may not be thrown into something new, just something they haven't done for a while.
We mentioned Richard Schmidt in his 38th season, 692 career wins, 375 losses. He, of course, we've told the story many times through the years. He came to Tampa in 1982 to resurrect a program that had been dormant for 13 years. In that very first season, he took a starting lineup of 1 junior and 4 freshmen and won the SSC Conference Tournament and the bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. The first time in NCAA history a first-year team in any division made the national tournament. And that's ancient history, but it's still pretty darn good history. He had 2 seasons at Vanderbilt prior to that. He was an assistant coach to Terry Holland at the University of Virginia. His 2 years. They went to the NIT both years. Madison Square Garden. So obviously Richard Schmidt has been around some quality basketball programs for a long time.
Off the inbound. Biffle almost with a steal. Well, Humans is going to have to ice himself down when this one's over.
He did a pretty good job of fighting off some tremendous defensive pressure from Biffle.
Down to 7 on the shot clock. Driving the lane to Copeland. A little runner up in the air and in.
Good execution that time.
Back into the lead, so we keep alternating the lead for a while now. 22-21 Montevallo. Moreno kicks it out to Biffle, to Gamble. He almost has it taken away. Now he does. Quickly to the other end. And that's got to be a charge. It is. Lohman went for the fake on the pass, kept it. Moreno didn't fall for it, but he did fall for it.
Nice job of getting back after the turnover. And again, the Spartans having a little trouble taking care of the basketball. Again, there's been pretty good defensive pressure at both ends of the floor. Both teams with turnovers here. That's the 7th turnover for the Falcons. The Spartans have 6.
Seems like at this point, if you turn your back on the guy guarding you, someone's going to come over and double you.
Okay.
Duncan with the pick to the corner. Into Duncan, fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line.
Again, Moreno set it up with a nice drive, good penetration, left it a little bounce pass. Duncan will get free throws. Boy, after missing last season with the injury and all that he's been through, you got to believe Brent Duncan is just thrilled to be out there in the action right now.
First free throw, a little bit short. Stays a 1-point deficit for Tampa.
It is terrific to see the cheerleaders here, the rally squad, the dancers, and everything else that has been going on this weekend.
And they're an award-winning cheerleading and dance squad.
The Jack Ike Award? Is that the one? You judge that?
No, I've never been asked.
Oh, okay.
I will accept if asked.
Yeah, okay.
Outside, Johnson goes inside. This is Curtis backing in Gamble. Turns around off the glass, tipped around, fighting for it is Biffle. They're tied up with a little under 6.5 to go. Gamble drives off the glass, goes under, and it comes out. That one was halfway down. Fuller kicks it out.
It's an undersized Tampa Spartans team. Only one player on the roster is 6'9", and right now on the floor you got 2 Montevallo players that are 6'8" or 6'9".
Jumper wrapped around. Biffle, another board. He's got a couple of them so far. That's his 4th. And to Duncan on a great pass from Biffle.
Great vision that time and a perfect feed.
So Brent Duncan now with 5 points. Free throw and a couple buckets.
His career high is 8 points, so he might be on the way to something.
Foul Foul called. Biffle about 30 feet away, reaching.
This is the third or fourth just reach-in foul. And it's one thing to play good defense with your feet and to harass them, but you really don't want to reach out and grab.
Especially not when they're in the bonus now.
Right. Yeah, the Spartans have only 14 fouls. Check that. Montevallo has only 14 fouls. The Spartans have 7, so they are shooting the one-on-one here.
It was just the first on Biffle, so it doesn't hurt him. Regardless, Freddie Ibrahim in, and he's replacing Marino. So what we've seen early is they've got a nice little rotation of 4 guards that they just keep them fresh.
And Marino does have 2 fouls, so he has to be a little bit careful. Maybe that is one of the reasons that they've decided to put him down here with 5:20 left in the half. Make sure he doesn't get his third before halftime. Lohman has 1 foul. Humans has 2 personals for the Falcons.
Drive to the basket. Foul called. And it'll send Vincent Biffle to the free throw line. Foul was on Medanica. Just into the lineup.
Alec Medanica
from Yarmouth, Maine. Yeah, that's Maine. M-E?
M-E.
Okay.
Yeah. Better that than medical exam.
Gotta know my postal codes.
Yeah,
here.
that's it. I know.
Bethel hits. Should get a second one. And he got the basket for the three-point play. And then he hit the throw. Backcourt pressure from the Spartans. They get into Copeland. They back it off a little bit. See if they can get that steal and just some pressure to run clock. Ullman bounces it inside, tipped away. That was Medanica losing it. Fuller bouncing it into Medanica, tipped away from him. Bellarmine back in the lineup for the Spartans, and he tipped that one out of bounds.
I think he feels like he maybe should have just grabbed that one. He had a good clean shot at it.
Bounce pass inside off the glass. Nice hang time by Ullman. Waited till some of the arms disappeared and put it off the glass.
Biffle came to help. Bellarmine got beat on that particular play. But that was a nice finish inside by the Falcons player.
And the Falcons are up 1 again. Ibrahim lobs it into Duncan, lobs it back to Ibrahim, who launches a long 3, rims out. Top of the key, big step, drives the lane, hangs up in the air, misses it, puts it back up. Ullman finally not able to complete the play. A couple athletic plays, but wouldn't get the bucket.
Duncan with a nice block shot there as well on the putback.
Under 4 now in the half. Ibrahim inside, Duncan not able to get the shot, finds Biffle. Biffle hangs the glass, fouled. And Biffle back to the free throw line where he's already had 3 free throws and an under 4 timeout. They can't call these media timeouts because you and I did not request one.
Yeah.
We're the only 2 media here.
At the moment, yes.
It's always just the under 4.
It is.
Timeout.
The under 4. Biffle has been very active, is the leading scorer for the Spartans right now with 6 points, but very active, as I say, with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. So
Amazing new iPhone 8 is at AT&T, and we know you'll love it.
Because we know you want more.
More great camera features and more power.
And more than just unlimited data, we give you unlimited plans with HBO included for life.
Because you deserve more entertainment. And more spokespeople.
Talking like this, saying the word more.
AT&T.
It's time for more. Am I too close? I feel like I'm too close.
Get the iPhone 8, and with all AT&T Unlimited plans, get HBO for life. Only for...
Nudge. We got to get it right. She corrected us.
Yeah, I know. It's spelled N-A-G-Y. We talked about it at one point, thinking it should be...
Looks like Nagy.
Nagy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways, but
she's from Hungary.
Yes, and she corrected me, tried to get me to say it.
Well, we were told it was nudge.
Yeah, Nodge, right?
Nodge, like Hodge.
Right, yes, right.
Hodgepodge.
And it is very close to that, but there's a little hint of a U in there. Kind of like
she said it's closer to nudge than it is nudge.
Right.
But it's nudge.
Not nudge.
Yes.
Nudge.
You spent the first 2 minutes of your interview, interview with
she
her.
Kept correcting me. I was trying to get it right, and then she called, she threw the gauntlet down and said, okay, say my first name. And I said, Dory. And she goes, no, and it's
a real first name.
Something with a lot of vowels in it. And I said, you're Dory. From now on and forever at Tampa, you're going to be Dory.
She went at you, right, on the first interview.
This is the first thing I'm saying, hey, I'm Scott. Hey, get my name right. Okay. But the thing was, she just kept correcting me, and I thought I was saying it exactly as she said it. She goes, oh, you're close. I'm like, really? It sounds the same to me. Nudge.
She had a nice game, though, double digits. That's 15?
Yeah,
16?
a career-high 15 points. She had played at University of South Florida, D1, and redshirted last year with an injury and decided to come to Tampa so she could play right away.
Biffle with 1 of 2 ties it at 26. 3:35 to go, first half. $15 on the shot clock. Inside, that's Owen. Nice pass, Lohman off the glass, no good. Lohman leading scorer with 8, can't get that one to go. Gamble has it knocked away. We're coming back the other way, that's Johnson. Dishes, layup off the glass and in by Solomon, who is now in the lineup.
He redshirted last year after averaging almost 6 points a game as a freshman at Eastern Florida State Community College.
By way of Freeport of the Bahamas, Khalil Solomon, a 6'1 sophomore. 28-26. Spartans missed that one, and Owens with the board. Both coaches not afraid to go to their benches, which is good to see. $10 on the shot clock. Nice three from Solomon, and it's 31-26, so from a tie game, actually I think it was 26-24 Spartans. But now a 5-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the half. Montevallo on top. Pass inside, Duncan. Not able to get a shot off, kicks it back out though. Ibrahim, Bacon, Biffle drives the lane and charges in, and I think it's going to be a blocking foul. We'll send Biffle back to the line. Biffle with 7. Hits that one.
Biffle, as a freshman, had a double-double, and you might remember a triple-double at his freshman year.
Don't remember that one.
No?
I don't know why. Was I here?
I'm not sure. It might have been on the road.
Yeah.
I think it was on the road. I'm going to look it up.
It's a rare occurrence.
You know what? You can Google that. You don't have to wonder about anything anymore.
No. Biffle missed the shot, got the rebound off the free throw, took it back into the lane, off the glass, banked it home, and got fouled. So Mekhi Biffle has a chance to pull off another three-point play. Doesn't. Almost got his own rebound again. Minute and a half to go, first half. A 2-point Montevallo lead. Ball out of bounds, and Copeland just Lost control of the ball. A little pressure from Biffle, and he dribbled out of bounds. Minute and a half. Spartans with the ball. Chance to tie or take the lead.
I can't tell you who Biffle did it against right now because I can't remember, but it was on December the 10th.
Oh, yes.
His freshman season. So,
wow. If
we just had a schedule handy, we could look that up and figure out who that was against. I'm pretty sure it was a road game.
Okay. Bacon, deep three, good. Spartans lead, 32-31. Minute to go, first half.
Bacon's been very efficient. Only 5 shots. He's knocked down 3 of them. He has 8 points.
Well, fake. Solomon with the miss. Rebound. Flying in comes Biffle. Biffle kind of having an Emily a shoot.
I was just going to make that same point. Anytime the ball's up there, you're seeing a Tampa player flying in.
Flying guard.
The same way last night.
Yep. From the guard position. Back out. Gamble likes it. Nope, that's not going. Rebound Ibrahim. Spartans now can run it down for the final shot with 20 seconds to go right now. And Richard Schmidt wants a timeout.
Going to set up a play.
So with 17.7 seconds to go. One last play being drawn up by Richard Schmidt for his ball club. Holding on to a 1-point lead in the final seconds of the first half. Spartan men not picked highly in the Sunshine State Conference this year.
Picked to finish 10th out of 11. I think some of that was just the appearance from afar that you lose probably your 2 best players.
So what do you do?
Best. Yeah. Your 2 all-conference players in Robinson and Duke Shelton. So who's going to step up? Well, time will tell. We'll find out. But that is one thing, Pat Bacon can't take it all on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's been their leading scorer. But bottom line is, I think the coaching staff would rather it be distributed a little more evenly, getting more players involved. I don't think they really want Pat Bacon to shoot 20 times a game, which you have seen on occasion. They want it to be more efficient. Here we go.
Waiting for the 10-second mark. There it is. Down to 6. Bacon off a pick. Finds Biffle. Back to Bacon. 3-pointer. Top of the key. On the way. Missed it. Rebound. End of half. So Bacon with 2 players flying in his face as he put up that last shot. Wants to talk to the refs for a quick little debriefing.
A nice first half for Biffle in particular. 10.7 rebounds, 3 assists. Just a really nice all-around half of basketball.
So 32-31, Tampa up at halftime. 15-minute halftime program coming up. We will step away and come back with a couple minutes to go before the start of the half and get you caught up on all the stats and get us prepped for the second half. Jack Ike, Scott Lynn. Tampa Spartans basketball on the Sunshine State Digital Network and TampaSpartans.tv. We will be back.
right, thank you so much for participating. Okay, it's 2 minutes. 1 chair, 2 contestants, and only 1 team flag.
Just about ready to start the second half. University of Tampa against Montevallo University. 32-31, Tampa on top in this men's basketball game. Season opener for both teams. Both teams with some pretty rich NCAA tournament traditions, though the last couple of years have not been kind to either team.
Very even first half, Jack. You know, you look at the shooting, both teams shooting in the low to mid 40s, 40%. Spartans shooting 46% overall, and 3 of 9 from deep, 7 of 11 from the line. Montevallo is 12 of 28 overall, 43%, and 4 of 6 from downtown. So their three-point shooting has actually been a little bit better than the Spartans. But the turnovers, Spartans have forced 8 turnovers, and the Spartans themselves have made 7 turnovers. So again, very even in many respects.
Including the scoreboard.
Yes, very close there as well.
This time the stats tell the real story.
Yes, they do.
Second half underway. Spartans with Anthony Gamble with the ball. Alberto Moreno, Cedric Bellarmine, Pat Bacon, and Vincent Biffle. And a nice drive by Moreno, and he puts it in. On the court for Montevallo, they will have Cam Copeland, Micah Fuller, Wade Roman, Khalil Solomon, and DeMarco Owens. Humans actually is in there. He has the ball. Humans look for the shot, drives the lane. He hit a couple three-pointers. Jumper from the lane, the free throw line, and he knocks it down. And he continues his unblemished shooting streak. 34-33, Spartans by a bucket. By a point, I should say. Biffle, top of the key. Bellarmine throws, deflected, turnover. Maybe had the shot there instead of looking to cross-court pass. Humans missing that one. But they retain the board. Back to Humans. He's going to lift the drive, comes back out as he was thwarted by Moreno. Driving the lane, Lohman off the glass, fouled on his way up. Lohman leading scorer for Montevallo with 8. Been sitting on 8 for a while. And he will go to the line for the first time.
He's 6'6", very athletic. You can see we've seen that on display already a few times today. He's kind of the inside game for them, and Humans has been the guy who's hit from the outside. He has 8 points as well. Just missed his first shot a moment ago.
Brent Duncan getting ready to check in for the Spartans. Missed the free throw. And they come back the other way.
Duncan had 15 pretty good minutes in that first half.
Moreno, nice pass to Bellarmine, and he lays it off the glass and in.
You know, even when the new point guard comes back, you might see Moreno play some point throughout the season. He does a really nice job.
Tries to reverse it, can't do it, goes out of bounds. It will be Spartans' ball.
That ball might have hit Cam Copeland underneath the basket.
Yeah, because there were 3 Spartans there, and it went the other way.
Right. No, it's interesting to watch Moreno because, again, he didn't have a ton of opportunity, certainly to play the point in past seasons. And he just seems to have so much confidence. And maybe with that ball in his hand, he's a different player.
There's the athletic ability of Bellarmine we were talking about. He just said, I'm going down the lane. I'm going to shimmy between a couple players, and I'm going to put it in.
Spent a couple years at Miami-Dade College, averaged 11.5 points, 7.5 rebounds last year as a sophomore.
Both these teams, you look at their lineups, rely heavily on transfers. Though if you look at the Spartans on the court right now, this is just recent history, but Pat Bacon, Vincent Biffle, and Alberto Moreno, and Gamble for that matter, all 4-year players. But talking more about the incoming players this year. But that's the nature of the D2 business. Ball knocked away, it'll stay Tampa ball.
Yeah, it is unusual in some cases. And it depends on philosophy, but a lot of times you will not see players come in as freshmen and stay all 4 years. You do see players transfer in, whether it's from a junior college or from a D1 program. That does happen, and it seems to happen more and more lately. And you understand that, really, because you get an opportunity to play at Division II.
JUCO players are looking for that next step up. D1 players are saying, I just want to play basketball.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't the right place for me at the D1 level. Rather play at a D2 level than sit on the bench at a D1.
And what a great opportunity for all these Tampa athletes, student athletes, because you're going to a great school in a great city. A lot of things going on for sure, and you're still getting your school paid for in many cases.
Biffle missing the jumper, but it goes right back to Pat Bacon, who takes it down the lane. Can't get it over the rim, though. And there's a foul called on Tampa coming the other way.
I think Biffle coming over the top, perhaps.
Maybe so. It looks like what they're showing is third, so Biffle will have to more than likely go to the bench. He does quickly, and Alberto Moreno in. Ibrahim in as well. So it's Bellarmine, Gamble, Ibrahim, Bacon, and Moreno on the court. Not a lot of height, but some athletic ability on the floor for the Spartans. You know, you get the feeling they've got the book on Anthony Gamble because they have not let him have too many shots where he sits out there on the perimeter. There's an out-of-bounds play. Humans took that step back to get going and actually stepped out of bounds.
You see that often on that sideline.
Yeah, it's close. He wasn't sure what they called.
Yeah.
Because he's like, nobody touched me. I didn't touch anyone. Yeah. They had to go tell him you stepped out of bounds. And we're going to take a timeout.
Your pizza loaded with cheese, then have we got a crust for you. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Cheesy Crust Pizza. 16 cheesy pockets overflowing with a 5-cheese blend of melted cheeses. Only from Pizza Hut and only for a limited time. No one out.
Back courtside, 38-35, Tampa Spartans leading Montevallo. Jack Ike, Scott Lynn. We will be guiding you through this season. All Spartan home games.
And it gets going very quick. I mean, we've got these two this weekend, that's for sure. But then you start looking at the SSC play, and December 1st, both the men and the women are right in action, and it comes at you fast and furious, doesn't it?
It used to not be that way, but about 3 years ago, they added Palm Beach Atlantic and Embry-Riddle to the conference, so they had to find a way to get 4 more conference games on the schedule. It used to be they didn't do anything till January, but they said, we got to get you going in December, kids.
Yeah, and in fact, the Spartans actually play at against Florida Southern on November 20th, and then Barry December 1st. It says November 1st on the game notes here, but it's actually December 1st is when Barry is in town. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
Those SSC games are really hard.
They're competitive.
They are tough.
A lot of talent at the D2 level here. Maybe the most competitive D2 conference in the country. So there's some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Foul called away from the ball. Moreno inbounds, finds Ibrahim. Bacon looking. 10 on the shot clock, and Moreno backs it out. Little crossover dribble, drives the lane, tries to find Ibrahim. 4 on the shot clock. Moreno launching a deep 3, missing it. That'll be a shot clock violation.
I want to make a correction. I said Florida Southern was here.
Yep.
That is the first SSC game that the Spartans play, but it's there. It's at Lakeland.
Okay.
At Florida Southern on November 28th. Barry is at home, a home game rather, against Barry on December 1st. So the home opener is Barry on December the 1st.
All right. Good thing I put it in pencil.
Yep. Well, we'll get those game notes corrected. I knew something was wrong when I said that. I just couldn't figure out.
Steal by Moreno. Can he take it all the way? A little Euro step it in.
What a sweet finish.
You know, Sports Illustrated was running an article, no, actually it was ESPN.com, about what exactly is the Euro step, why does it look so weird, and why is it legal? Nice shot there by Curtis, and it's 40-37. And I never really understood it other than it just looks weird. I'm like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
And basically they say normally you're allowed 2 steps after you give up your dribble, which I always was told it was a step and a half when I was in school. But
and in the NBA, it's basically 3.5 steps, 4 maybe.
They said what is weird about the Euro step is normally when you take 2 steps, you take 2 consecutive forward-moving steps. A Euro step might be 1 to the left, and you hop back to the right, and it just looks weird.
It looks different, yeah.
But it's legal. It's part of your 2 steps. And then they went through the history of how it ever came to be, and Americans didn't like it when the first players brought it over. Missing off the glass, and Moreno knocked down. I think the foul is going to be called on Fuller. (40-37). Tampa on top of Montevallo. Moreno brings it up court. Brent Duncan into the lineup for Tampa. Gamble slips, backs away.
Boy, he almost fell. He did a good job of keeping his feet.
Bacon tries to put it off the glass and somehow brought that one back from below the rim, it seemed like.
Yeah, spun it up there and it's hung up on the rim just long enough that gravity brought it down through the net.
42-37, double digits now for Bacon. He has 10, equaling Biffle for game honors. Humans with 10 has taken over the scoring lead for Montevallo. On the shot clock. Copeland launching a 3 off the rim, no good, fighting for it. Ibrahim quickly up court, finds Bacon. He stops, he spins, he waits, he better get out of the lane, and he traveled, I think. No, we got the timeout.
Got a timeout call. That was from the bench, so that was good. Good coaching there.
All right, so we're going to take a timeout. 12:53 to go in the second half. 42-37, Tampa on top. (42-37), just under 13 minutes to go. Tampa on top of Montevallo, season opener of the 2018-2019 season. I was having a discussion with my 14-year-old daughter the other day about how you say the dates these days. Is it 2018? Some people say it's 2018.
Right.
And I said, but I never said it was 1964.
Right.
It was 1964.
It was really confusing in the first decade of the 2000s.
Yeah, because that one, it didn't seem right to say it was 2004 or something.
Right. Well, we used to always say 1904 or 1907, so it made sense that it was 2007, but a lot of people didn't do that. It was always 2007.
And even still today, people say it's 2018, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I'm not going to change.
Well, we are creatures of habit.
Yep. My dad was like, "What do you want to do, Dad?"
Yeah.
Duncan missing.
And again, a would-be assist for Bacon. Would have been his first assist of the season. He deserved it.
Yes. Copeland step-back jumper, in and out, and a rebound to Duncan. That's what Duncan will get you, some buckets around the rim and some big rebounds.
He does redeem himself for missing the little bunny at the offensive end.
To the corner. Ibrahim, 3, deep, rolls it through. Biggest lead of the game for Tampa, 45-37. I believe biggest lead for anybody in this game. 8 points. Just ticked under 12 minutes to go. Second half. Copeland, a floater, and he hits it.
The Falcons had missed their last 4 before that bucket.
6 now for Copeland. Spartans 6 of 11 this half. Montevallo is 3 of 10. Nice pass. That play has worked, but they got to finish it.
Well, and Wade Lohman, give him credit. He came over and blocked that shot off the glass.
But that's a well-designed play for the Spartans. They just need to figure out the other end of it. Complete the journey. 45-42, back-to-back three-pointers. And an 8-point lead. Actually wasn't back-to-back threes. They've made 5 consecutive points. Bacon from very deep water, no good. Tipped out to Ibrahim. Finds Gamble. Shot fake. Has time. Unloads. Hits.
He finally got himself free, but he had to work for it a little bit.
He will not elevate. We were talking earlier because we met Ray Allen's mom. You talk about a guy who had the beautiful jumper and could elevate off the jumper. Anthony Gamble just goes up on the tippy toes, but he hits it. Off the glass, won't roll in, fighting for it, back out to Fuller. Spartan lead is 6. Copeland to the left side. Top of the key, pull back, fires the shot, no good. Duncan fights, tipped out, another shot clock. Right down the lane, off the glass and in. And Lohman gets his 10th point and will go to the free throw line. We're down to 10:03 to go. It's going to be the under 12 timeout. 10:03 to go in the game. 48-44. Tampa on top of Montevallo.
Sub-above difference is giant. Giant hearts. Giant differences and giant wins. On Jersey Mike's annual day of giving, 100% of sales go to a great cause in your community. Jersey Mike's. Be a
48-44. Tampa leading. Right now, Tampa shooting 7 of 13 this half, 18 of 37 for the game, so right close to 50%. Montevallo 6 for 15, 18 for 44 for the game. Three-pointers, Montevallo 50% on the day. Tampa 5 of 12 from 3. So both teams shooting well from distance. Scott, we are glad to have you back this year after...
Thanks. Nice to be back.
Realizing that you could cover the NBA's Portland Trailblazers for a while.
That was fun. It was fun. Yeah, I was, again, as we've said here before, I was retired, living over in Pinellas County, and got a call from the Trailblazers. Their regular play-by-play guy, Brian Wheeler, had some medical issues and couldn't start the season. They called me 4 days before the first game and said, "Can you be in Phoenix on Tuesday?" I'm like, "What?" So, joined them for the first month of the season, and then...
thought you might be done.
Yeah, I thought I was done, but then the medical issues continued, and I ended up calling after January, I called all the Blazers road games, including the playoff games in New Orleans where they got swept in the first round. So it was great fun. It was a bucket list item for sure. I did 33 games last season for the Trailblazers on the radio network, and it was a blast. It's definitely a lifestyle for a much younger man.
Just to add to that story, you mentioning you were from Pinellas County here, but you had been in Portland for 30 years.
Yeah.
Very well-known name in the Portland sports market, so that's why the Blazers came looking. Alberto Moreno that was a rainmaker.
Yeah, that came down with snow on it, or it would have been if we weren't playing in Tampa, I guess.
It had altitude.
Yeah, we came back to the Tampa area. I worked here at Channel 10 in the Tampa Bay market for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, early in my career. And we came back here to retire.
3. So, I excused you to go off and do your thing.
Yeah, I thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thanks to everybody at U of Tampa to allow me to come back as well, because it's great fun teaming up with you and calling the Spartans games.
Gamble launching another one. This one no good, though. 51-47, 9 minutes. A little less than that to go in the game.
As you mentioned earlier, the largest lead in this game, I think, is 8 points for either team. And, and it just has a feeling like it could be going right down to the final minute, you know?
Yes.
It's been pretty evenly played.
Well, Copeland wants to score and does.
Nice spin move for sure.
He has 8 now. Quickly up court to Ibrahim. It's a 2-point game now.
Copeland last season averaged 11 points and just under 5 assists per game, and that's kind of where he's heading here. He's got 8 points, 5 assists right now.
Moreno, another rainmaker. Wow, I don't remember him having this much arc.
I didn't either, but he was shooting that one with great confidence.
Yeah. Back-to-back deep water threes, who I think went as high as it was far out on the court.
Yeah, you may be right.
But you know why I went in? He's a lefty.
Yeah. That's why?
Yes.
Okay. You know, if this was a
preference to lefties
World Series broadcast, we'd have the arc and all those stats that they put on there now.
Exit, some sort of exit velocity.
Exit velocity.
Return to earth velocity.
How long it was in the air.
We're at the under 8 timeout, 7:43 to go, 54-49. Tampa on top.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
54-49, under 8 timeout here. Tampa on top. Tampa has led for, I believe all of the second half to this point. I don't think
I believe that's true. You know, it's interesting watching this game as it develops here. Richard Schmidt and Justin Pecca, the coaching staff, have given the players more freedom to create. There's going to be more ball screening. There is structure, but they want them to feel the freedom to create. And we've seen that a lot, especially with the ball in Moreno's hands, where he's been able to drive, create, and either score himself or dish off to a teammate. It's been kind of interesting to watch.
Well, there's not one go-to guy. I mean, Marcel you'd love to see him get the ball in his hands if you needed a bucket.
So did Marcel.
Yes. The only reason Marcel did not shoot from outside the gym is the doors were shut.
Yeah, they were locked.
But you know what? He could make it.
Yes, he could. And one reason was Marcel Robinson loves the game of basketball.
Yeah.
I think about when we were calling baseball games, and Marcel was over there working a job, guarding one of the gates, if you will.
Yep.
He always had a basketball in his hand while working.
Yep. And he told me back, I think his freshman or sophomore year, because I got to know him, I think sophomore year, and he said his goal was to play professional basketball, and he's playing in Spain right now.
That's terrific. Well, one possession game here, Jack. Long way to go in this one, but it's tight.
This is a zone defense coming out now by Danny Young's Falcons. We have not seen it. Inside to Duncan, skip past to Moreno, high arcing shot off the front of the rim.
Well, they found the guy they wanted to take the shot. He'd hit the last two rainmakers. Just didn't.
Well, I think Danny Young didn't like the fact that Spartans knocked down a couple threes here, so he went to the zone to see if he could force them out. Copeland looking to shoot, spins in the lane, nowhere to go though, and taken away by Moreno.
Moreno and Duncan both. Nice job defending that particular drive.
Biffle to the corner to Gamble. Looks to drive, and that may be a charge, yes. Anthony Gamble not known to drive the lane much.
That's the 12th turnover of the game for the Spartans. 5th of the second half. What a great opening weekend of basketball at the Martinez Center.
Yes.
2 women's games every day, yesterday and today, and then 2 men's games today and tomorrow.
Humans hassled by Pat Bacon in the backcourt. You know, I like the fact that even though it isn't a press, but putting ball pressure on a player to get it over the timeline, they get it over the timeline, get into their offense, you're under 20, down about 20 seconds left on your shot clock. Owens, nice job inside, posts up, and scores 54-43, 6.5 minutes left in the game.
DeMarco Owens out of McNeese State University last year, averaged 3 points, 2 rebounds a game. Scored 14 against Southern University. He's a big guy.
Bacon, free throw line, fires it up, almost hit it. More desperation. I think he knew he was getting fouled.
Yeah, that was a senior right there, knowing that there was going to be contact and try to get the shot away. And they're saying no, he was on the ground, not in the act of shooting.
I saw him shoot.
He was definitely shooting. But I guess the foul was committed while he still had the feet on the court.
It is the first foul on Copeland, only the 3rd foul on Montevallo. Let's see who wants to inbound the ball. We're still discussing this, and it looks like it'll be Vincent Biffle.
It'll be interesting to me to see, despite what I said a minute or two ago about the players having more freedom, if this game comes down to the final minute, every possession critical, we'll see if Richard Schmidt lets that continue.
Back to a man-to-man defense. I believe.
Well, I think they stayed in the
3.
Yeah.
You're right. But in hopes of not letting a guy like Pat Bacon knock a 3 down, which he just did. 57-53.
Yeah, they disguised that zone pretty well that time.
Yeah.
But I think they fell back into the zone just as that shot was being taken.
Well, if they fool me, that's good. Just don't fool the players. Big move by Owens. Kicks it back out. Humans in and out. Rebound, Brett Duncan. Humans a little quieter this half after knocking down back-to-back threes at one point in the first half. Duncan back out. Bacon, long 3, front of the rim, tipped. Nice job by Duncan to get his hands on the ball, but it comes out to Humans anyway. We come back the other way. Biffle, double team, Gamble, 3, deep, off the rim, no good. Copeland slowly across the timeline. Finds Fuller. Lohman looking for a pick. They don't go inside to him. 10 on the shot clock. Copeland drives the lane, puts it up off the glass. No good. Rebound foul as Lohman put it up, but I think Lohman gets called for the push. He did. Just his second, team's fourth.
Human's a freshman from Naples, Florida. Went to Naples High School. Getting a lot of time.
Moreno over the timeline. Spartans by 4. Still in his zone. Moreno. Double teamed inside. Jumper Biffle free throw line. In and out. Lohman rebounds. Able to dish off to Copeland before he hit the deck. Under 4 minutes to go. Inside. Back out. Lohman free throw line in. We're a 2-point game. 57-55. Lohman with his 12th. Bacon looking to drive the lane, pops out, 2-pointer on the way, bounces, no good. Biffle almost had it, but taken away into the hands of Copeland. He's double teamed and finds Fuller. 3.5 to go, inside to Lohman. Off the glass, no good. He charges in to Anthony Gamble. Ill-advised drive on that time by Lohman for his third foul. We're at the under 4 timeout. 3:21 left in the game. 57-55. Tampa leading Montevallo.
Nada. Nada. Empanada. It's Mr. Empanada to you.
Now serving up scrumptious empanadas in convenient Tampa Bay locations. Mr. Empanada.
57-55, 3:21 to go. Jack Ike, Scott Lind. You thought it'd be a nail-biter?
It might be. The Spartans have kind of gone cold here. They haven't scored the last couple minutes. Meantime, Montevallo has hit 5 field goals on their last 7 shots, so they're starting to become more efficient. 10 of 21 in the second half. The Spartans are 10 of 20. So again, how even is this game? Almost identical shooting in the second half.
Statistics can lie. Today they don't.
Yeah.
I was told once that a statistician will tell you if you have one hand on burning coals and one hand in a freezer, on average, you're very comfortable.
Very comfortable. On average, the key words there. Yes. Well, you want to learn a lot about your team in the early games of the season, and right now, Richard Schmidt is learning an awful lot about his team, but he hopes that he doesn't learn how to, how you have to have a last-second shot to try to win it.
Yes. Gamble keeps his feet and saves the pass. Back to Gamble. Moreno looks to drive. Little rain teardrop. Biffle fights for it, loses it. Copeland running. Moreno tries to steal, but Copeland will not be denied and ties the game at 57. Copeland playing very well the whole game, but even more so the last maybe 10 minutes. Went to the zone with about, 7-8 minutes ago with the Spartans on an 8-point lead. Since then, it's tied. Moreno launching a deep one. Back of the rim, no good. Humans rebounds.
Well, he had hit a couple, and now he's missed his last 2.
He was short on the first one, long on that one.
Right now, there seems to be a little more pep in the step of the visiting Falcons.
This is true.
The momentum seems to be on their side a little bit.
Bounce pass inside to Owens, posts up Gamble, works his way across the lane. Ball wedged between the rim and the glass. Good thing they didn't ask me to get it. I'd have to get a ladder.
Micah Fuller is only 6 feet tall, but he went up there and got that one.
Yeah,
that was no problem. So there was a foul on the pass-off.
Foul called on Duncan.
16 fouls, so they're not shooting yet.
Bounce pass inside. Owens, good job by Duncan to keep his feet, but Owens tries to back him down, forces him to fade away. Nice job, Brent Duncan.
And that's Biffle's first rebound of the second half, and that was with authority.
Biffle rebounds and puts it in.
2 rebounds in the span of about 7 seconds there by Biffle.
A defensive rebound and an offensive rebound putback to give the Spartans the lead. Under 2 minutes to go. 1:39 left in the game. Or dare I say regulation. Copeland pulls up. Bounces around. No good. To Gamble. To Bacon. Cross midcourt. Dishes. No, he doesn't. Holds on to it. Goes tumbling to the ground, and we come back the other way.
Richard Schmidt grabs his forehead and says,
you might
force that one up.
Yeah, you might have wanted to keep that one. Nice board, though, by Anthony Gamble.
And Richard Schmidt up off the bench holds his hand up and says, let's run some clock. A basket here would make it a 2-possession game.
1 minute to go in the game. Spartans by 2. Gamble deep water off the front of the rim. Owens rebounds.
Richard Schmidt puts both of his hands out and says, why? Why? We still had so much time on the clock. Why settle for the long 3-pointer so early in the shot clock? Well, teaching moment as there's a timeout, huh?
59-57, 47 seconds to go. We'll step out quickly and be right back.
It's a new iPhone 8 is at AT&T, and we know you'll love it.
Because we know you want more.
More great camera features and more power.
And more than just unlimited data, we give you unlimited plans with HBO included for life.
Because you deserve more entertainment and more spokespeople. Talking like this, saying the word more.
AT&T.
It's time for more. Am I too close? I feel like I'm too close.
Get the iPhone 8 and with all AT&T unlimited plans, get HBO for life. Only
Game's going to start pretty quick.
It's going to start. They may overlap.
Yeah.
They can use that.
They can use the practice court over there on the side, I guess. The bleachers aren't working, so they could play a game over there.
Scheduled at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we're going to, I better call the wife before this next game and say I think we're going to be a little bit later tonight.
4 games in about 8 hours here today. 2 games yesterday, 4 games today, 2 games tomorrow. The games tomorrow, men's games, featuring the Tampa Spartans and Alabama Huntsville at 3 o'clock.
The concession stand's been doing brisk business, I might say.
Yes. 59-57, 22 seconds on the shot clock, 47 on the game clock. Montevallo with the ball. Copeland to Roman. They go in, find Curtis. Hands it back to Copeland. Back out to Humans. 9 on the shot clock. Copeland looks up, sees it, drives, traveled, fouled though by Marino.
Yep, fouled as he put the ball on the floor, driving, got bumped from the side, and now it's going to be free throws. That's the Spartans' 7th foul, so it's a 1-and-1.
So at best, he can tie the game. Copeland so far is 2 of 2. 10 points on the day.
Well, a little pressure here. If he misses, the Spartans have to secure the rebound. They have to know, too, it's a 1-and-1. Go get it on the miss right here.
Bellarmine back in the lineup for the Spartans for Brent Duncan. First free throw for Copeland. Rolls around and in. 59-58 with 29 seconds to go. One more free throw.
You know, that 7 o'clock game could end up being really
Might
late.
be an 8 o'clock game.
If we end up with a little extra.
I have no plans.
Free basketball here coming up.
Misses it, and Biffle with the rebound. Now they're going to have to figure out if they want to foul quickly. They do foul quickly.
Biffle with his 10th rebound ties his career high, and it gives him a double-double.
Nice.
It's the third time in Biffle's career that he has had 10 rebounds in a game, and boy, that was a big rebound.
That was the 6th foul, so still no shooting. They've got one more fouled. This one will put the Spartans at the line.
That was a good play. Even if he had to go shoot, that was a decent play, but it's really good because now they can set up for the full court pressure.
Gamble to Bacon. Bacon breaks out, fouled by Fuller, which will put him on the line. Danny Young kind of hanging his head about the foul, but you know what? If Bacon gets past, he's got I think a 2-on-1 is what he had. So
I'm sorry, Jack. Last season, Bacon, 83% shooter at the charity stripe. This is his first free throw of the season. And again, no pressure, 1-and-1. If he hits them both, they have to have a 3 to tie.
Big time. 2-point lead, 60-58. 21 seconds to go. And a timeout, Danny Young and the Falcons. We'll just keep it right here for now.
Yeah, Danny Young was trying to ice him for the second free throw. You know, you make the first one, you're in the rhythm. Now you want to make him think about it a little bit. And he can also set up the play.
Yeah, you have to figure out what you do if they make it. Richard Schmidt saying if we make it, maybe we get some backcourt pressure. How do you defend if he makes it? It's a 3 they have to take, so
right.
how tightly do you defend that? You don't want to...
Or do you foul? That's always the debate. Do you foul and make him go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1? The best they can do is make it a 1-point game, a 1-point deficit, but also you have to get the ball inbounds after that. So a lot to consider. I've never been a huge fan of intentionally fouling, even with a 3-point lead. Just go play good defense. I know people argue with that, and maybe rightly so. Maybe the statistics prove it out, but I just don't like that. Have confidence in your defense.
Second. Good. It's a 3-point game with 21 seconds to go. Spartans get Freddie Ibrahim in, Pat Bacon out.
And that also lets them set up the full court pressure, so they have to use some of the shot clock just to get the ball across, if they can even get the ball in bounds.
Yep. Finally they get it into Humans. Quickly to Fuller. Fuller to Copeland. Crosses the timeline, took him 6 seconds. 13 on the clock. Backs out. Looking for a 3. Fires a 3. Misses it. Rebound Biffle. And he's fouled.
Well, Danny Young didn't like Cam Copeland taking that shot, but he actually got a really good look.
Yeah,
he looked as if he was going to pass off to the right side, but the whole way he was setting up that step-back jump shot from 3, and he had a good look.
Not sure who he wanted. Maybe Humans.
Yep, Humans has hit a couple.
It was a good-looking shot, though.
Copeland had missed his first 2 3-point tries tonight, so he's 0 for 3 from deep. One free throw here ices it.
There it is, 62-58. We will see if we can get one of the Spartans to come over and talk to us after the game. Knocks it down, 5-point game, 63-58, and a timeout called.
Well, I'll go make the request.
Okay.
And let me ask you, who would you rather have, Mr. Double-Double, Biffle, or Moreno running the point?
I think bring Vincent over.
All right. I'll see. I'll request Vincent.
63-58. 5-point game for the Spartans. A nip and tuck season opener. Vincent Biffle, 5 of 9 from the free throw line, but hit a big one there. For the day, the Spartans are 10 of 15. Vincent Biffle, 13 points, 11 rebounds.
Had kind of a quiet
14 points now.
Kind of a quiet second half. He had 10.7 rebounds at the break, but finishing with a couple of big rebounds here very late. So a new career high on those 11 rebounds as well.
4 assists. Good floor game. 5 seconds to go into Copeland. No real urgency. I think he realizes it's not going to happen. Fuller at the buzzer knocks it down, but the Spartans take the 63-61 win over Montevallo in the season opener.
Well, that was a nice win for the Spartans. It was one they had to earn, frankly. They had to play well, and they did get it done.
Montevallo giving a game effort. Spartans took an 8-point second half lead at one point. Lead then evaporated and was tied, and the Spartans come back and get the win in this one. It's going to be a women's game coming up as soon as the court is cleared in about 30 minutes of warm-up time.
And so we're going to be about a half hour later, I would suspect, even for the UT game, scheduled for 7 o'clock. Most likely it will start at 7:30. That's when Jack and I will be back for that. I'm going to give up my headphone and let you say hello to Vincent.
All right.
How you doing? Thank you.
And Mr. Vincent Biffle, a nice game today, huh, for the season opener?
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a tough one, too.
Did you think that a tight game would do you guys well to start the season? Normally sometimes teams play a game in the first game and they just want to get on the floor and get the win.
Yeah, I think we needed a tough game, get out here and see what we need to work on the most. You see what our weaknesses are, tough games make us teams exploit a lot of things. So, yeah, I think we definitely needed this. So down the line, we won't be surprised when this comes at us again in another situation. So, yes, I really like this game.
There were 2 weapons you were missing from last year with Marcel and Duke being gone. It looked like guys are in some different roles than they had in the past.
Yeah, we're trying to losing Duke and Marcel is that's 2 big key factors to our offense last year, especially and defense too. With Duke averaging 10 rebounds. So right now we're trying to replace those guys, but we got a lot of good guards. So we're filling in the spots with 4 or 5 different guards. We're playing hard. Guards got to rebound, defend, block out, block shots. So yeah, we're just trying to replace them with a lot of guards.
We called Duke a walking double-double last year. Do you know what? You're a walking double-double this year.
I just try to get in there and play hard, that's all.
14 points, 11 rebounds. Double-double.
You got to keep playing hard, yeah.
Well, as a guard, though, how do you get 11 rebounds? They seem to be offside rebounds. You knew to go to the bucket.
I mean, rebound is just a angles thing and where the ball comes off, where the ball is shot. So, I mean, you just gotta want it. You just gotta go get it. So it's just a mentality that I have to go get defensive rebounds. So I just try to help my team out the best way I can.
You turn it around. Got 24 hours for another game. Do you work on a few things, or do you just rest and get ready?
I'm definitely about to hit the free throw line. I missed way too many free throws today, but yeah, we're definitely going to probably try to come back and see what we can do to beat Huntsville tomorrow. They're a tough team. They always play us in every region game every year, so they're no slouch, so we're going to be back and try to get better.
Okay, Vincent Biffle, a double-double to start the season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Career high rebound.
Spartans with the win, 63-61. We'll give you a recap of the scoring, and then we'll come back in a couple hours for another game. Recapping the scoring for you for Cam Copeland, 37 minutes of play, and he had 11 points. Jack Humans had 10 points. Wade Lohman, 12 points. Carl Johnson with 7. DeMarco Owens with 2. Micah Fuller with 11, Khalil Solomon 5, Jeremiah Curtis with 3. They were 24 of 56 from the floor. and that is 43%. 7 of 14 from three-point line and 6 of 11 from the free throw line. For the Tampa Spartans, Alberto Moreno, 14 points, double digits, sharing second in scoring with Vincent Biffle with 14. Cedric Bellarmine, 6. Anthony Gamble, 6. His two buckets on three-pointers. Pat Bacon leading all scorers with 15. Freddie Ibrahim with 3. Brent Duncan, a solid effort from Brent Duncan with 5. Spartans were 22 of 50. That's 44% from the field. 8 of 19 from deep water and 11 of 16 from the free throw line. So the Spartans win at 63-61. Alabama-Huntsville coming up tomorrow afternoon at 3 in the final game of this crossover classic. So we'll be back about 7:30 for the women's game as the Spartans women get ready to take on Claflin. Spartans a winner last night. Claflin lost big time to Florida Tech yesterday as well. For Scott Lynn, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. You've been watching this game on the Sunshine State Digital Network and TampaSpartans.tv.